spawning up in the top left-hand corner from Team Startail, one of the lesser-known Terrans on the team, but of course, one of the absolute best. It is Hack.
And over in the bottom middle side of Polar Knights, we have the red Zerg, the Tyrant. It is Evil Genius's Jaedong.
Dude, crowd, you are awesome. It is so wonderful to have you out here. And for any of you who are in the Los Angeles area, definitely come on out. We're at the Red Bull Santa Monica headquarters at Stewart and Olympic.
Still got another day. I mean, of course you can come in today, but tomorrow we're going to have a lot more matches as well. We have to find out who's going to be the top 6, so we have a lot more series to discriminate the players.
Looks like Hack is going to be going for the very standard command center first. I like this map a lot for that. Kind of has some interesting formations. I mean, obviously you have the natural expansion, as every map does, with a kind of a unusually wide space out here in the front. But what's really interesting about Polar Knight is this backdoor entrance can get you an extremely safe but kind of time-consuming expo to grab. There's a more forward third that's much more vulnerable, but doesn't have those rocks there. So if you're being very aggressive, you tend to take the forward third, but if you have time to play very passively, you can take that backward one. So there's a lot of different expanding patterns. There's even this outward center third that a lot of Zergs like to take just due to its proximity.
That's right. I really feel like the mid-late game stages for Zerg is a lot better on this map. Normally Zerg have a tough time getting their 4th base up. It's a lot easier to just focus their creep spread, defending the 3rd, but all of a sudden they have this back expansion that they can use, and that's going to be their normal 4th base, and that allows them to get to hive tech. So I think on this map in particular, it's challenging to defend against a lot of 2-base pressure, which is Hack is so good at. But as soon as that gets past there, Zerg normally takes a large momentum shift.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you'd say that, you know, if you take a lot of damage early as Zerg, you're totally screwed, but this is a great map to do those sorts of recoveries on. Like you say, because you get very easy 4 bases, and as a result, very easy 8 geysers. Very standard, fast Zergling speed. We're already at the 4-minute mark with 2 queens coming up, so Jaedong's no doubt going to be going for a very fast 3rd base. The thing that really, I think, is the hallmark of Jaedong's play is the fact that in this matchup, he keeps all of his lane baneling on the sides of the map, away from where there would ever be any sort of potential conflict. And then he does tons and tons of counters, and even if he builds a huge army to defend your attack, and then you don't move in, he counters with those as well.
Yeah, one thing I love about Jaedong is how he just stresses his opponents with exactly what you just said. Like, a lot of times when you have those units out on the map, he can do counterattacks, or he can do big swings and get a good concave and get a good surround on whatever is attacking you. And he has that choice a lot of times. He's able to make the right choices, and then all of a sudden, if you're being attacked at the natural and you get attacked with your main army, where do you choose to micro?
I mean, it's exactly that sort of multitasking that Jaedong's hoping to exploit, because that really is his strength. He's one of the best multitaskers in the history of RTS, and Starcraft 2 is kind of a game that's, I think, more known for de-emphasizing the multitasking. A lot of players can just sort of do the same sort of builds again and again. Actually, wait a minute, look at this. Jaedong threw down an extremely fast layer, a layer before 6 minutes, and he's thrown down all 4 geysers and is going for a Roach Warren. I mean, does this look like he's going to be going for a big Roach play all game long, or is this a push?
This could be that 1-1 timing that we see a lot of times, but even still, you get the faster 3rd hatchery. We did see him go Nidus play on one of the series on Akalon Waste in the round of 16. He might be doing that again over here. It was against Hack, I do believe, and he was able to win, so maybe that's going to be his option, and he's just trying to mess with his opponent in the first game.
Well, here we have Lair and Roachhorn finishing up at the same time. No doubt we're going to be seeing the extremely fast Roach speed popping out.
Yeah. This is really interesting.
With it yet. Oh, ventral sacks. I love it.
Now,
Jaedong going for the fast drop?
Yeah, I've seen this a couple times. Gosu User is a player that loves to use this.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about it. And you can do Roach drops, or you can do Roach plus Baneling drops. And a lot of times you defend with just bunkers. You have your units spread out. You're able to deal with the Roaches. But all of a sudden, the Banelings are just splashing on top of you. And the Roaches are able to get into positions and just isolate those bunkers so easily. It's a really interesting way to do it.
This is beautiful, Jaedong. The scan goes down. Hack concludes what you really should be concluding right now. there's no third base. I see a Roach Warren. This guy's going for an early cheese play, and Hack is doing all the wrong moves. He's turtling at the front. He's adding on more bunkers. He's going for the tank and answer. And I mean, Jaedong's, he's just going to drop in the main. What a great mind game play. And even if this doesn't work out, Jaedong's already at 44 drones. He has enough to make a full recovery.
All right, this is the perfect first game play. I mean, this makes so much sense. You're going to put your opponent on tilt. Now putting down double E-base, that's going to put Hack further and further behind. Normally you want those E-base because you're thinking you want that upgrade equivalency. Normally Roaches have that 2-2 timing and the 1-1 timing. Those are the major hits that they're going to take.
Yeah.
But this isn't going to be the case. He's too forward thinking, and he wasn't able to get good scouts in early enough to really tell him that this is some sort of all-in with drop.
Oh, and look at this. Where are the Overlords? Oh, there they are. They're moving out. Is Hack going to encounter them? There's a Nidus Network going down at the front. It looks like we're seeing those Hellions. They're not quite. Oh, no, they're going to avoid it. I mean, Jaedong is controlling this space so brilliantly. And, I mean, if you're in Hack's shoes, you're going to be thinking, I got this. I've held it all off. Hack's even moving his tank down onto the low ground. This is bad news.
Now, it could still snowball out of control for Hack. I mean, he can defend this. Technically, it's going to be very difficult. His micro has to be perfect. But, you know, if Jaedong plays this right, it's all in his hands. He's the one that's going to be dictating how the end of this battle goes.
Oh, this is terrible. This is a really difficult push to hold off from Hack. Jaedong drops right on the front and throws down the Nidus Warp.
Perfect.
All his forces can now retreat instantly, and he can safely float the Overlords away. He is creeping up everything. Hack just boxing all his workers, all his units from both sides. I do not think this is going to be enough.
There's too many Roaches, and now the Nidus Worm is going to complete. Out comes a lot of reinforcement. Roaches in plentiful numbers. Hack can't do a thing about this attack. Beautifully played by Jaedong.
Fast game number one. I mean,